everybody. Episode 831, Brain Candy Podcast. 831. It's bright and early. We are not usually recording so early.
People are probably like, wow, they look so fresh in this video. It's because it's bright and early.
Yeah, we haven't melted yet.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. Speaking of.
Here we go.
I come home from, Susie and I went on a little trip that was so fun, little business trip. We had a great time.
We sure did.
We'll dive into that. But I get home from this GD trip. And not GD. It was great. It's the GD temperature.
Yeah, it is.
If you guessed 100 degrees, you would not be correct. If you guessed 104 degrees, you would not be correct. If you guessed 105, 100, or 106, you wouldn't be correct. It was 107 degrees here.
Was it really outside, or was it just one of those things where, like, your car's hot?
No, that was when I had already been driving. And I was watching it go from 105 to 106 to 107. It was
like when you went outside, you were like in an oven.
That's what an oven.
Wow,
107.
I was like, it's ungodly.
Are vehicles going to work in the future?
Mm-hmm. Are people?
Because I had a moment last night where I was like, I think I might pass out. Like, is that what happens with people from the heat?
Like, terrible. Yeah, man.
Like, I bent over I have one of those like Brita water filters in my fridge, and I was like bending over to fill that up, and then I stood back up, and the lightheadedness, the rush I got, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna like fall over, hit my head on the counter, nobody's gonna find me, and I'm gonna be like one of those people who died in their home during a heat stroke.
Yeah,
that's how it happens.
It sure does. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. You're so validating all the time.
It's brutal, though. It's no joke.
Yeah. Was it a fiery inferno when you got home?
It was okay. It was not like what you're dealing with. It was just typical summer. I was fine with it.
Well, that's fine. We'll allow that. Should we talk about our little trip?
Yeah, man. It was so good to see you.
Oh, my gosh. It is always the best when we could see each other. And so we went out to Detroit to do a podcast for the Zach Nichols podcast, which people are like, whoa, you guys were on the Zach Nichols podcast? But yeah, we were, because we can have different opinions and views than people and still go on their podcast and talk and have a lovely time, which we did.
I really never thought I'd have a conversation with a flat earther, but there's a first time for everything.
My gosh. I mean, and one of my favorite parts of the argument was that, well, I haven't seen that the earth is round, or that we landed on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was like, what? I wasn't there.
So you only believe in what you see? And I wanted to chime up and go, that's real tough for somebody who is religious.
No, he said, he questioned the moon landing, and I was like, for Pete's sake. And then he said, what? I wasn't there. And I'm like, you only believe in things you were there for?
Right.
That is a very small number of things in the history of the world.
Right.
But that's his criterion. Okay.
Oh, that's
true. He was not there.
Yeah. And
he never will be.
So he's not sure. Which, okay, fine, whatever. I'll trust science. So it was so much fun. And one of my favorite moments was when they go to check us into the hotel and originally had 2 rooms for us, and we were like,
absolutely not.
No, we need a room together.
Yeah,
that is. It's really, people save when they take us on the road as opposed to other people, because
we really are a 2 for 1.
We're a 2-for-1 deal. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
we wanted to snuggle, and so we had to share a room to make that happen. And of course, we just had the funnest time. Most fun. Is it funnest?
We'll go with either.
Okay.
Most
great.
Fun time? We had the most fun time going to the worst ever sushi.
Terrible.
So Susie gets a real nice resi at a place that is like an Iron Chef winner.
That's what I thought. Marimoto.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be like fancy sushi and like real sushi, like the kind that's made by somebody who like is really
Yeah, like Jiro Dreams of Sushi or whatever that documentary is.
Totally. It's like that style. And I had to come a little bit late because I had to finish up a meeting. And Susie sends me a text and is like, this is different than what we expected.
Yeah.
And it was, that is an understatement. So we go in and it's one of those restaurants where you sit at the counter and eat the sushi. And Susie, you had a not so pleasant experience before I got there. I feel like you have to tell the part of how he your experience of
it was
getting
just
to the
one of
place,
those
to
deals
set it
where
up.
something is so fancy that then they treat you like shit.
Yes,
You know where it
that's
can
a
go
good way
all
to
the
put
way
it.
back around, where you're treated really well at like a fancy restaurant, but sometimes
Yes.
it gets so fancy, then it's like they are pissed at you for even being there.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And it was like nothing we could say was right. And then it started to feel like we were like getting pranked, or like this is the Emperor's New Clothes kind of situation where they're putting down this fish that, in my experience with sushi, I've had some great sushi all over the world. Some of our best, I think, that we had was in Brazil. Amazing sushi. And it never tastes fishy. It never tastes like, this was hard to get down. Let me just say, there was a bite. I mean, he does one plate of sushi, and even after that, we're like, "Ooh, okay, we bit off more than we chew. We're hungry. Like, how much more?" And he goes, 3 more plates. Yeah, right. I don't even know where I'm going to put this sushi. We can't eat any of it. Susie thinks it, like, she looks at me with panic in her eyes and goes, let's put it, we got to put it in my purse. We got to like stuff. She was fully ready to destroy her bag to save herself from the embarrassment of having
I didn't want to get yelled at.
And this is the guy who felt like he would yell at us. And meanwhile, other people are coming up saying like, oh, I grew up in Taiwan, and I haven't had lychee since then. I bit into this, and this was like bringing me right back. And I'm thinking, oh my God, am I not getting something? Because we didn't have the lychee. Maybe that was it.
That was one of the 3 that we
missed
out
that
on.
And there was a moment.
It was about that point where Sarah started. She truly, I'm not exaggerating, started treating it like a final. And like, listen, Susie, we can do this. You can finish this sushi. Just focus. Don't think, just do.
Yeah.
And
I was like taking full, and
she was gagging. She was trying to
the
do
raw
shots
shrimp. Yeah, I was
of water.
To just throw back the sushi. It was.
Here's why it was great.
Yeah.
I wept with tears of laughter. It was the funniest thing that ever happened, and that is priceless. What a hoot. What a hoot.
Yeah, it was a blast, and I just adore you and love you, and seeing you always makes you feel good.
Always
And
a
I never
pleasure.
thought that talking about the challenge would, I don't know, it was just like an enjoyable challenge experience, and getting to talk about that with somebody who was like real excited and I don't know, I hadn't seen in a really long time.
Usually we're just talking to each other.
Right, yeah.
about it.
I don't know, it was fun to see Zach, and it was like seeing a cousin that I hadn't seen for a while.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know?
That's about right. Mm-hmm.
Where I also like would not shy away from like yelling at them for anything. You know? Like we're close enough to where I'd be like, you're a fucking
You're an idiot.
dumbass.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's not dumb, and that is how when we packed for that trip, we packed some mosh bars because you
I
got to
sure
come
did.
prepared, right?
Came prepared.
Slap some of those in your bag. They
Yeah,
are wonderful.
I tried the blueberry for the first time.
Oh, what'd you think?
Delicious. Well, I don't know why I do this. I always like sleep on flavors. I'm like, no, it's just chocolate and peanut butter for me. And then I
you don't
ignore...
like it when they try to sneak fruit in.
Yeah, and then I go, that can't be good.
Yeah.
And then turns out they're the ones I like the best. It was like having a blueberry muffin.
Yeah, that is a good way to put it because it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
They're so tasty and they do fill you up, but I just love they have all of these wonderful nutrients in there that support brain health, and the company supports women's health research, so I love them for that too. They're just good to have. There's so much competition in this space, and most of the ones I've had in my life, I'm like, I wish I hadn't eaten that. So mosh bars, I do
Yeah.
not feel that way about. I'm like, these are so satisfying and delish. And they have the plant-based ones now too. If you want to find ways to give back to others and fuel your body and your brain, mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/braincandy. You'll save 20% off plus free shipping on either that bestsellers trial pack or the new plant-based trial pack. It's 20% off plus free shipping on either the bestsellers or plant-based trial pack at moshlife.com/braincandy. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so I have some fun stuff to share with you today to talk about. This was an interesting thing I read. So there was an article. It was a Substack that I can't remember the name of now, of course. But the title was "I Regret What's in My Camera Roll." And have you heard
I read
of
that
this?
one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, you read it. So at first you might think like, oh, is she talking about like nude pics or something like that? No, she's talking about the way that her pictures have changed from maybe 10 years ago to what they are now. And the way that she saw and captured the world has changed so much. She was scrolling through her photos, just making observations about the kind of photos that she was taking. And it made me think about what you always talk about with photos from like the 70s and 80s, and like what those photos look like.
I love it. I miss them so
know.
bad.
I miss it too. And so I kind of took a look through mine and I thought about that.
Oh, Lord. Because
And-
her argument, to add to it, what you said, is that the existence of and our participation in social media has like skewed our perspective. So when we take photos, they're taken with the thought of what would make the best post.
Right.
Rather than what will help me remember this special moment or add to my life's history for looking at when you're old and gray or something. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And so in looking back at mine, what I noticed is that I have two main categories that stand out. Selfies and pictures by myself of just me, or B-roll.
Like just a landscape or...
Yeah, landscapes, maybe like a pan to like something that, a cool food I don't do a lot of pictures like of my food, but like it'll be maybe video from the restaurant. So it's basically pictures of myself, then edited in anything that I would use as like filler content in between those other pictures of myself. And and of course, this is what I have to do for Instagram, for social media, for stuff like that. It's part of our business.
Yeah.
But it absolutely changes the way that or what I have to remember those memories by. And then what happens is I feel like I don't want to bother anybody else because, I've done like, hey, take a picture of me, blah, 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 or I'll take a picture of myself, take some selfies. And then I want to keep that world like so separate and don't want to bother anybody that I'm with like taking a photo or anything like that I never pull out my camera when it's like a group of friends or a group of, it feels like the only time is for work. And how Instagram is so individual, like social media tends to be pretty much like us comparing ourselves to others. And a thing that makes you... We all know this, all the studies show this, that increased anxiety, increased depression, increased feeling like of low self-worth, increased feelings of like, I don't have and I'm not enough. And it, for something that almost forces you to think so much about the individual, yourself, it makes sense that all the photos then become so individual and kind of isolated.
Do you think though that like this is something most people would relate to, or just people who work sort of in a thing where you have to post for promotion?
I wonder. I mean, maybe it would be different. Like, it's weird because then, if I had kids, I would be more concerned about like, I like this when celebrities kind of keep their kids off Instagram and, it's fine.
I hate
if you want,
that.
but oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I get it. I respect it. I understand why. But I'm always like, I don't know why, but it gives me like a tinge of self-importance, like where they think they're so fucking special that everyone's like clamoring to see their fucking idiot kid's face.
Yeah.
I
I think it's less like that and more like the creepy people that
I do
are
understand
online.
that. But
Yeah.
every time a celebrity does that, this is like confessional and I'm embarrassed to admit it. But I will go online and search that celebrity kid's paparazzi. Just so I can see that kid's face. It's the Barbra Streisand effect.
You
where I'm
now you
like,
have
let
to
me
see
see
it.
this fucking kid. What's so
Yeah.
special about it?
Right. Nothing
But I
special.
do get it. I know. I feel terrible. This is like the dark side of Suze.
No,
but
it's the creepers that are online. Like I have a friend
Yeah.
who has kids, and I've looked on her Instagram, and she like recently went private. But I saw the messages on there,
yeah,
and I've
it's
seen them, and I'm like,
disgusting.
that's horrifying.
Okay, but like everywhere you go with your kid,
Right.
the creepers are out in the world
Right,
too.
totally. I'm just saying you end up with two different sets of photos. Like you have, so Instagram creates this place where then you can have this like living photo album, right? This
Yeah.
living like history. And isn't it fun every now and then to like go scrolling back through your Instagram and you're like, oh, it's like a photo album.
Yeah.
But if you have a photo album that's curated to like the individual and not like it's I don't know, everybody's kind of become their own brand in a way.
Yeah, like
And
you're
then-
making yourself the main character of that movie.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you would have to put effort into having another photo album or another curated set of photos that were everyone or more. Like I would want that. I want to go through and have like a private Instagram for just me that I can put up pictures of.
So do you feel like
like
you'd
a
only
virtual
take
photo
pictures if you think it can be content for promotion? Like you don't take personal ones that you just keep for yourself too much?
I'm trying like some at big events, like a group one where I want everybody together. Like my friend got married recently and it was really fun to have like a big group photo of all the camp people, things like that. But it's more like I feel like I've spent so much time with a camera as part of my life
Yeah, right.
and this is probably just me and people who have been on reality television or something, that I don't like subjecting my friends to that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I do not like to be the one who's like, okay, let's take a picture or like pull
I think
out my
most people
camera.
Want that though.
I think okay,
They
that's good to
do.
know.
Yeah, like you're sick of it, but they're probably not.
And I don't want to put them on the spot, and I only want to take because so
Because
often
then what if they
I
don't think they look nice?
right, and so
yeah.
often I don't want to take photos. And I'm like, oh, reluctantly, like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So I kind of wait till somebody else does that, and then what ends up happening is I have no photos of, ever like events like that. I'm thinking
Yeah.
digital cameras.
Yeah, man.
That's the fun stuff. It's like when you have an event, just grab a few digital cameras.
Yeah. 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 Even like you can buy film disposable ones still.
Yeah.
And you can send them off to get developed, and then they send you digital ones of the things you took on the camera that you haven't seen yet. So it's like a surprise party when you get them.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I miss
That's
that.
why I like the images from the 70s and 80s, because there's a lot of duds in there, but they end up being the best ones because
They
it's
really
like
are.
the true moment
Yeah.
captured in time.
And we
like,
now
oh,
we
you're-
take and you got one shot,
One shot.
Now
No
like
deleting.
I'll be
It's
my
film.
friend's paparazzi sometimes and I'll end up with like 50 photos, for one. Like you told me to take a picture of you in front of Chili's. I think I took 40 because I'm going to do that.
I needed them all, though.
And you need them all. Exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell you what else I need. Yeah. Sarah and I both did this past week. Lumi deodorant. We were stinking because
Oh my gosh.
we forgot one day. Remember when you got there, you were like,
Yes, because I
forgot
took a
to
plane.
put it on.
I took a plane and my plane was early. Like I left the house early and I just forgot to throw on the old deodorant. And when
But-
I arrived,
Lumi to the rescue, though.
I swear, I smelled so bad. And instantly, Susie was like, oh, do you need deodorant? I was like, no, I already got it. I already took care of it.
Yeah,
So we're
because
good to go.
as Sarah has learned, because she forgets sometimes, because
Yeah.
she is neurodivergent,
Yes.
that you can put Lumi on after you
Yes.
stink, and then this problem is still solved. I don't know how
It
that
doesn't just
happens.
smell like you sprayed potpourri over something nasty.
Right.
It's like it eliminates the odors. This is odor killing stuff.
Blocks odor all day, controls odor for up to 72 hours, baking soda free, paraben free, pH balanced so that you can put it even on your private parts.
Yes.
You can put it anywhere on your body, your feet, whatever stinks. And they have a deal for our listeners. Their scents are really great too. So you want to try all their
so
scents.
good.
Here's the deal. Let me find it.
I love their pine one, the one that smells like woodsy and outdoorsy.
Yeah, I'm not a coconut girl. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code BrainCandy15 for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code BrainCandy15 at LumiDeodorant.com.
Yes.
All our codes are on our website as well. If you ever need them, you forget them, they're
Yeah,
on
I
our
visit there
website.
frequently.
Yeah,
Get my
candy
good deals
codes.
because I love getting a deal and I
love a
hate
deal.
spending full price. Okay, so wanted to share this little fun story with you. Ever since my mouse incident, 2024, I have recognized that maybe I need to work on this fear. Maybe I need to start doing things to maybe overcome this fear.
For real,
I do
that's
not,
what you felt after? You were like,
absolutely, Suze. I couldn't save a mouse.
yeah.
And I can't let one thing die because I'm scared and of something that's totally irrational for me to be afraid
Like,
of.
why should a mouse die because you have a phobia?
Because I have a phobia, right?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
ridiculous. And get over yourself, Sarah. And you can work on this. And so I've been embracing anything that I see or find that is rat positive or mouse positive.
Stop it.
This is fact. And I have a wonderful rat positive story to share with you.
Wow, we're promoting rat positivity here.
We
on
are,
the Brain
we
Candy
are.
Podcast.
And these guys actually did kind of convince me because they're kind of like cats. And so,
What do you mean
okay.
these guys?
Well, I'll tell you. So this collection of rats that are now adorable to me are called the hero rats, the
cured.
hero rats of Tanzania. So in Tanzania, they have a species of rat called the African giant pouched rat. And it's pretty big. It's about as big as a small house cat. Like
Stop.
like there's an adorable photo of one of the guys who's training these rats who has it on his head. Let's see if I can find
I
it.
love the term house cat.
Well,
I wish we called them house dogs.
so here is one.
Good grief.
They're
Holy
very large.
crap.
And
That
something about
thing
them
is
being larger
huge.
is better for me because like I can see them like
They feel
they're
more like
scurrying, but like
friendly.
I don't know. I could see them coming. It's the popping out of nowhere that freaks me out.
Oh, they can't hide and run and
Right.
get past you. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
that
just
makes
kind of like
sense.
regular. I mean, they're still like run around like little rats and everything. So what they're used for? They have been trained because they're trainable like cats. It takes about a year to train them
They're
to do
very
this.
smart, Sarah.
This is what I'm learning. The
Yeah.
rats are very smart, and they know their owners. They have trained these I almost gave away the punchline. They have trained these rats to detect landmines.
Oh my gosh. Sniff them out or?
Yes. So the rats are the perfect tool for detecting landmines because they don't weigh enough to set them off, and they have such light little scurrying feet that they don't detect them.
You're kidding me.
Correct.
Their scurrying allows them to like
Yes.
run over landmines.
Save lives. Yes.
Save lives.
Yes. These are the things I need. I need like positive spin on the animal that freaks me out.
Yeah, rats
So-
are people too, Sarah.
Rats are people too, exactly. So these cute little rats, they get trained for a year, and they train with a little clicker, just like they, train dogs. And they have excellent odor detection skills, and they can tell right where the landmines are. And then they they detonate the landmines because apparently in this part of Africa, there are a whole bunch of buried landmines and a lot of people, and especially children, get killed running over these landmines. So they put them in these cute little vests.
Oh my gosh, they have uniforms?
Yeah, they do. And they're like these little harnesses, but they look like little vests. And they attach to a really long stick. And and then the person who's like their trainer will stand on the other side of the landmine field with the stick like long enough, in the safe zone. And they just hold it as the rat goes back and forth through the rows and across the field, sniffing out and detecting landmines. And then they, do whatever they need to do to detonate
what's the
it.
Signal?
When they
They're like, right here.
Yeah, I feel like
right
they like sit down or something.
Yeah, like the dogs do when
Yeah,
they
they
smell
like
drugs
sit
or a
on
bomb
it.
or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they don't. It doesn't just end at landmines. They also are trained to smell tuberculosis.
Wow.
Yeah, they are tuberculosis sniffing rats, and they take them around, and they've been really helpful in stopping the transmission of tuberculosis because often the people who are spreading it are the ones who don't have the symptoms, but they have
it's
it
like fucking
present.
Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, so the rats have been sent into these communities where they have outbreaks, and they can go around and like smell it, and so I think I like African giant pouch rats.
I think maybe, justice for rats and everything, but like, I think mice aren't so smart.
Right.
I think maybe this could be your gateway drug, though.
And that's what I'm trying, because I recently saw some videos of some guinea pigs, and I'm like, oh my God, those guys are so cute. I love
they are
them.
cute. They are cute.
They're adorable. Mm-hmm. And so then I was just like a hop, skip, and a jump away from guinea pig to rat. And that you watch one guinea pig video, then all of a sudden you get rodent videos on it. Like, I guess this was Instagram not knowing if all the rat content, all the mouse talk,
they think you have
all
fetish.
The comments. Yeah, they just like are feeding me rodent stuff, and it's not the worst thing because it is, I think, kind of helping.
Are guinea pigs in the rodent family?
They have to be. Oh, yeah. Actually, they have to be, right?
Maybe. They're kind of tricky, those guys.
Yeah, because they got like long hair and shit. They kind of look like.
Well, they're called pigs. That can be confusing.
Yeah,
they have long hair and shit.
Well, I don't know. So what are... Okay. Because I kind of are they closer to like rabbits? Mm-hmm. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know. We don't know anything. Here she
look
goes.
This up. Well, I can't just not know if a guinea pig is a guinea pig.
I think they're in some weird family.
We're not the first one to ask this. Yeah. It's a rodent.
It's a rodent.
Yeah.
That makes me like them less. I got to be honest.
Yeah. They belong to the Cavia family of Cavidae.
My God.
Cavi. That's what they're called. Cavies? That's not as fun as guinea pig.
Cavi B reminds me of how I had to yell at Sarah in Detroit for playing Cardi B in our chauffeur's car at like 10 p.m., which doesn't sound late, but we had finished a really long day.
Oh.
And I was like ready for bed. And she and I were on the same page.
Right.
We were both. And then she gets in the car and starts blasting trap music.
No. This is what inevitably happens. This is the problem. I have to get another music artist on my... As soon as I got home, I was like, why didn't you say this? Because here's what happens. People ask me. I get trapped with the trap music question. Pun intended.
That's how it got its name.
Yeah. I was asked, what kind of music do you like?
You were asked that.
That's very different than what should I play right now.
I know, but then he put on trap music.
Right. I said, well, I like Cardi B. And then he just was like thumbing through there and then put that on. And I did not object.
Yeah. Also, you didn't even say, let's turn it down a smidge.
I know. I didn't.
I was livid.
She was. I was like, I'm sorry.
I was so like aggressive about it too. I was like, Sarah's like, after about 10 minutes of this nightmare.
10 minutes, one song. She had to listen to WAP.
Sarah's like, how you doing back there? So she had to scream over it. And I was like, not good. I hate it.
Yes, she said that. And I was like, oh, okay, turn down. And then he put on country, and I was like, now I hate it.
I didn't ask for country. I asked for
know.
nothing. I asked for silence.
Neither did I. But
Anywho,
this is what we got.
I can't
That's
be
funny.
silent about one thing, and that is Honey Love, athleisure, and shapewear.
If you were to look under my clothing on that trip, you would see my Honey Love bra.
I mean, this stuff is perfect for traveling. Those leggings.
Gets rid of that. I've got this sometimes. This like some bras will give me like an armpit bulge.
Chub. Yep.
Like where it's cutting in at the wrong place. The way this bra is cut is really great if you have, like, I'm not like an athlete, but I would say that I have
an
like
athletic build.
an
yeah.
athletic build.
Yeah.
And it is hard to find bras that don't look like I'm popping out in places when they fit me.
Yeah.
And so this one cuts in like high enough, but still has like cute lace trim. I just love it.
Their stuff is great. The Superpower short, they smooth, shape, and lift, give you a flawless silhouette. I think that about all their stuff. I just think it's so flattering and comfortable, but it's super high quality.
I'm going to
and
order those shorts.
you would love them.
Yeah.
They're so great. Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market. Save 20% off at honeylove.com/braincandy. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. honeylove.com/braincandy. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. The summer vibes are getting started. Just getting started. Shape your life with Honey Love.
Yes. Okay. Other thing I want to talk
Sorry
about.
I had yelled at you. It was so rude.
Yeah,
I was just tired, Sarah.
you're allowed. It's fine. Sis, I don't care. I need to be put in place every once in a while. You know who else? I feel like this guy also needs to be put in place every once in a while because he does ridiculous things. Did you hear that Nick Cannon insured his balls for
No.
10? Oh my God, I love that I'm breaking this story to you. Nick Cannon
Oh my God.
has had his balls insured for $10 million.
Wow.
And
Because of the semen, like the children?
So, this is the thing that one of the things that really annoys me about this story is that every single headline said Nick Cannon insures his balls for $10 million. Nick Cannon,
Right,
blah, blah,
sure.
blah. Just that.
Yeah.
They don't put anything else in the article. Then you have to read the art, and of course, you read that and you're like, oh, this is because he's having all those damn kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is like
He thinks they're the valuable assets.
right,
Yeah.
which is fine and true. But this is a celebrity publicity stunt where he's working with a company called Dr. Sasquatch that's like underwear, deodorant and stuff like that. And
It's
Dr.
a terrible name.
Well, terrible name, but if you put a doctor in front of it, and the article reads, Dr. Sasquatch insures Nick Cannon's balls for $10 million. If you're not savvy enough to read that Dr. Sasquatch is a brand, and you maybe
Yeah,
hear
you
doctor.
think it's a physician.
Yeah, you think, oh, a doctor just insured. What kind of doctor would do this? And then I was like, oh, shit, this is like one of those celebrity publicity stunts.
Well, mission accomplished. We're talking about it.
Right. And so many of them do things like this and have had stuff insured. Like, I think it was Jennifer Lopez. Didn't she do her legs? Mariah Carey did.
Yeah. I mean, some of them I get. Like, I remember
Right.
Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance, did that.
Oh, yeah.
He insured his feet. And
Well, in a way, I guess it would be like
if you
had
got into an accident, he would lose his whole income. So I get why
Right.
some people do it.
and if you have money to spend, like you can get an insurance policy for anything as long as you're willing to pay the premiums,
Yeah.
right?
We should insure our vocal
Susie,
cords, our voice
that's
box.
what I was thinking as soon as you started saying, like,
Yeah. How do you ensure a good personality though? You know what I mean?
right, have me.
Can't put a price tag on that, people.
Yeah, right. What if I had like
get
a
it.
traumatic brain injury? I mean, it was close there with some of the brain fog that I had.
Don't say that.
Sorry, I'm just okay. I
We're
hope
a
I
little
don't either.
stitches over here.
We're
remember?
a little stitches. Not superstitious,
No,
just a little stitches.
like Michael.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. I do. But okay, he did it for just the...
I worried for a while when I had my brain fog was real severe. There was a moment where I was like,
We'd have to change the name of the show to Brain Fog.
Right. Yeah. Not brain candy anymore, just brain fog, which would be a nice segue into like just menopausal conversation. But I thought I was like, should I take like a leave of absence and go on like workers' comp or not workers' comp, but like, what is the thing? What is it called?
That is it. Disability?
Yeah. I was like, should I go on disability for
that is so
brain fog?
sad.
Because like, I don't know if I can do my job right now. Like, am I even like bringing the quality content? I can't even form a sentence.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Oh my God, it was bad. So thank you, listeners, for putting up with me for like maybe 4 or 5 episodes where I forgot what I was saying in the middle of sentences. Susie, you did a good job. Yeah. Oh, good. I don't know how
nothing was different. You two are still idiots.
Yeah, absolutely nothing has changed. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that. I also want to talk about this new idea. It's actually more than an idea. It's a company that's been developed called Cognify. And it is a company that is beginning conceptualizing the science behind creating different prisons, AI prisons of the future. Have you heard about this?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. So in this, using this AI technology, incarcerated people would be hooked up to a high-tech machine that would implant artificial memories directly into their brains so that they would experience time much slower. It would feel like they were in there for however long their sentence was, but it only could be maybe a few minutes or a few hours. But with this, and the memories that they would implant would be, and that they would give them would be different and would be tailored depending on the seriousness of the crime and the severity of their punishment and the rehabilitation needs.
Where do you read this stuff?
This is like a real thing that's getting. This was in some I can't remember. But I've read it a few different places because as I looked up more for this, there are multiple articles about the company. And so, for example, if the person was a violent offender, they would be forced to watch their crime from the victim's perspective. Drug-related crimes might be punished with fake memories that stimulate the struggle of addiction and recovery. And at the same time, emotional stakes like remorse and regret would be triggered by tweaking neurotransmitters and hormones in real time.
Okay.
And they say that they would give the choice to the offenders of which they prefer. Would you like to serve out your term regular, or would you like AI prison?
That is the dumbest, weirdest thing I ever heard.
So it sounds like we couldn't do this. This seems so far-fetched, but the science behind it is there. Like, we have the pieces of this that just need to come together. So they say how the process would work. The process would begin with a high-resolution brain scan that would be used to create a map of the prisoner's brain, which would tell Cognify, this AI model, like learning machine, to inject the artificial memories and how to tailor them to that brain-specific structure. The fake memories would then be used to influence the prisoner's future behavior, which seems intrusive enough, but in the meantime, the prisoner would also be handing over their brain data to a central computer for scientific research to help understand the criminal mind and, quote, determine the best approach to tackle future crimes.
It's ridiculous. And here's what my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that you read about, not you, but people read about with AI,
right,
is not real. There's people have inflated what AI is capable of.
Right.
And most of that is coming from the AI companies. They're trying to make people think that they can do so much more than they can and give people a sense of like, it's inevitable, it's the future, because that helps their business.
Yeah.
But anybody that's tried to even generate a photo on AI will realize, oh yeah, they're going to change memories, make time slow down. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, here's the science. I have the science behind why that works. So the science behind it is there, and we have proven that we can implant memories in snails. Mm-hmm. So UCLA scientists did an experiment with marine snails to see if they could transfer memories. They took one group of snails and they gave them mild electric shocks. And snails have a natural defense, like as you see when you touch them, they like recoil. So they created more of this like defensiveness the more they were touched. So they created like a memory of, if somebody's touched, I'm going to recoil because I know I'm getting delivered electric shocks. Then they took the RNA from the nervous system of the shocked snails and injected it into snails that had never been shocked before. And the snails that got the RNA from the shocked snails behaved in the same way as if they had been shocked too. And when I read that thing about snails, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
That what that could be like what I would want the person who sexually abused me to get fitted with memories of what that would be like or what that experience would feel like, and then have somebody control like the idea of it sounds so interesting to me, but at the same time also sounds like torture to these prisoners. Mm-hmm. What would you choose?
I think that even if it were possible, which it's not, that it's very unethical, and in the same way that I don't believe in the death penalty.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you
had the choice
hate somebody
of,
a lot.
Going in and if somebody said, okay, we're going to put you through this experience that's going to simulate 3 years in prison, but you're only going to be there for about 5 minutes. So when you get out, everybody,
well, if it's some great thing that is so just, why are we even giving these pretend prisoners a choice?
Right.
Since when do we give prisoners choices? Hey, which one do you want? That's not a thing.
No.
See, it's like, this is silly. It makes me nuts.
Oh, I love it.
Do you really? You pro death penalty?
No, I'm pro science, and I'm pro finding out the ways that I love.
Like
I don't love a Minority Report future where everybody is it, but
our justice system shouldn't be based on vengeance.
I agree with that.
This person is,
but
morally...
you could use it to instead implant the memories and the feelings of victims and the people who they hurt, and then you control the neurotransmitters so they feel more of those things that are associated with remorse, and you stimulate the areas of the brain. I wonder if you can get, through stimulating those areas of the brain, get those parts to come back online and get somebody who didn't feel remorseful or didn't feel empathy to maybe have some empathy. That seems exciting.
If all these, Minority Report things are possible, then it would also be possible to cure sociopathy. So this wouldn't even be a problem anymore. Like they're saying things that are so outlandish that then you think, well, if that's possible, how about
why don't we just go to the beginning?
Create utopia.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
So I'm just like,
go to the beginning.
What are you doing? I'll tell you what is not a crime, and that is how much I love Green Chef. That's just natural.
Yes. And it is.
It is. It is, literally. And it is delicious. I freaking love these meal kits.
I do too.
They're a godsend.
I'm not going to the grocery store. No, and as a single person, no.
Forget it.
You waste so much money throwing frickin' food away when, I haven't eaten the last little bag of from my bag of spinach. Haven't eaten the
that bag of spinach is it is such a symbol of
it is
waste.
In everybody's fridge.
Everybody has a bag of spinach that they haven't used.
I have one right now. I'm shame about, and I'm not eating it because I got my meal delivered.
Exactly. This is so great because you takes the guesswork out of it. You don't have to like think of a recipe or what am I going to cook tonight. It's done for you. They send you the recipe and the ingredients, and then it's delicious. It's, I mean, high quality stuff. And it is so much more affordable. You know how like we always talk about how like you waste so much money, so much food if you don't have a meal plan. And this, they do the hard work for you. Go to greenchef.com/braincandy50 and use code braincandy50 to get 50% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go to greenchef.com/braincandy50. Use code braincandy50 to get 50% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
Yes. Okay, one more thing I wanted to ask you about that I kept seeing this come up like maybe at 2 or 3 places where I because of the Taylor Swift concert, that some articles were talking about something called concert amnesia. Mm-hmm. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm. Concert amnesia.
I had never heard about this either, but then, and I think what all this is just a name for something that we all experience. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was in, I think it was grad school, we were talking about feelings, as you do in school for therapy, and he said there's like an unlimited amount of feelings. Like there's not just a set number of emotions or feelings, that as long as an entire group, multiple people can agree upon a shared experience, like physiological experience and like definition of what that emotion feels like or is, then the list will go on and on. Hangry is a great example of like a feeling that didn't exist but then does. So concert amnesia is one that I think a lot of us kind of relate to. It's been used a lot with Taylor Swift concerts, because what happens is this phenomenon where individuals have difficulty recalling specific details or even the entire experience after attending a concert.
And you say that happens to you?
I haven't had like complete amnesia of it, of like, oh, I don't remember anything. Mm-hmm. But in those moments where you're experiencing a high state of arousal, because of a lot of some things that I'll dive into, it's hard to formulate memories that fall into like a timeline. So it would be hard to come up with like which song came first, what she sang first, or and you can almost get in an argument like, no, she sang this first. No, I think it was this first. Or you won't remember specific details of it. You'll just remember an overall feeling. It almost feels like a dream, like you woke up from, and it's like, oh my God, that was so much fun. I just remember it being so fun, but you don't really remember like the specifics of it. So they say sensory overload is one of the reasons that concerts are really intense, and the loud music, bright lights, crowds overwhelm the brain and make it harder for us to form detailed memories. Then high emotional arousal, the intense excitement and emotional intensity of a concert can affect how memories are coded and stored. And that leads to like recalls. It's basically the same thing that happens in PTSD, but for positive stuff. You know, if we talked about the brain can't really tell the difference between like arousal is arousal is arousal. Like it'll just flood the brain with a bunch of stuff in those moments. And it can't form those same kind of memories when it's in a state of high emotional arousal.
I can't believe that. I understand what you're saying though, because I understand the PTSD part.
Yeah. And they also said that the focus on the present is one of the reasons, believe it or not, why it makes it harder for those memories to form. That being deeply immersed in the moment and focused on enjoying the experience can sometimes mean fewer conscious efforts to commit details to memory.
I don't like that though.
I know. It's, you know who understands this? People who are like, I've heard when you get married, and I experienced that too, but you know, that there's like, oh my God, I don't even remember the night. It all went by. It was a blur. Just kind of like a blur. Yeah. And that blur is that concert amnesia, or what happens when we're just flooded.
Well, thanks for nothing, brain.
I know. Isn't that
That feels like a glitch.
It does feel like a glitch because we can't remember the stuff that's like the best.
See, that's why wedding photographers are so important.
Yeah.
Because evidently you're going to fucking forget the whole thing.
Full circle. Photos, important.
Yeah. What a bummer.
Yeah. And so you can do things to help yourself remember more, like taking a moment to kind of step back and see things from a bird's eye view and kind of like take it all in and then identify, like kind of label the feeling in the moment. So you're having a awareness of yourself experiencing the moment
it's
right
so
now.
Funny because
then.
Sorry to interrupt. When we were at the Taylor Swift concert, the woman right in front of us had her girl, I don't know how old she was, but she had her phone up recording the whole entire show, the whole thing.
Wow.
She held it like this. And I said to Adam, is she going to watch this later? Like, because usually when you take footage at a concert, it is trash. And you're not going to watch it, but maybe she will.
I never am excited by anybody's concert photos, including my own.
Yeah. I mean, it's real cute and everything, but nobody wants to see it.
We want to do that.
But like maybe she's the smart one because she's not going to remember a damn thing. She's got to watch it later and be like, oh, okay, that's how it went.
Yeah. If she watches it, for sure.
She should share that with me because evidently I'm going to forget the whole thing too.
Right.
Although I wasn't in sensory overload. Maybe that's for the diehards.
I think it is. I think it's the sensory overload and, you know, like the little screaming girls. And
it's the best concert you ever went to.
I actually don't know the answer
Was
to
it
that.
the one in the car with Cardi B and me?
Yeah, probably that one.
I'll never forget that one.
I know that the worst one that I went to was, and it wasn't the worst. I shouldn't say
Lauryn Hill.
Yes! I'm so mad about it.
You should be.
I hate that that's my answer. I really fucking hate that that's the answer.
Yeah, she let you down. She lets a lot of people down.
In hindsight, like now knowing what I know about the band, Daft Punk, when I saw Daft Punk at Coachella, that was the best because they've never performed since.
Oh, okay.
They don't perform, and
but
I
it
saw
wasn't
them
the best
with,
like in how they did. It's just that it was cool that you got to see them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Florence and the Machine was probably one that, because I just bawled my eyes out. I felt that collective effervescence, that feeling of like I'm connected to everyone in this moment, and like we're all in this together, kind of thing. And it felt like touched my soul in a beautiful way. Mm-hmm. So I think that it was at Austin City Limits, I think, and or South by Southwest. I don't know, one of those, whatever is in Austin, probably Austin City Limits, and. Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite?
I thought the best one was Paul McCartney at, what is it, Dodger Stadium, whatever that.
Wow, yeah.
A thing? Dodger Stadium?
Dodger Stadium or Hollywood Bowl?
No, it was Dodger Stadium. Yeah.
Okay, wow, yeah.
Yeah, he was like 79 and he did 3 hours straight.
Whoa.
It was in 2019 and I was just like, I'm watching a Beatle right now and he still can sing the high notes. And that's really hard when you're that old.
Yeah, it is.
And he has the stamina to do 3 hours. That's extraordinary.
Incredible.
Yeah. Really special.
Yeah. I need to put something else. You know what? No, I take it back. Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill tour where she did the whole album.
I would have loved that.
Oh my God, Suze. And it's that one of those albums that came out when, like, you know, we had CDs, so we listened to the whole CD. And so you knew every song and which one was going to come next.
Yeah.
I did not sit down that entire show, and I was singing every word to every song. Oh, it was so good. And she's coming here, and I miss her by one day because I'll be at camp. I'm actually bummed about it.
Billy Joel was in Denver last night.
Oh.
I was like, I should have flown back with Sarah.
Yeah,
and gone to that show. If I had known,
great.
I would have been real tempted.
Oh, well, next time we do. There's somebody that I really want to see who's coming to Pittsburgh in September, and I missed her when she was here last year, and I her name's Remy Wolf, and I absolutely love her music. And she's in Pittsburgh September 28th, and I think I might fly out
come
there
see me.
and come see you just to see. It's on
That's
a
a great
Thursday,
idea.
but I'm still like, I'm going to come out.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I'll have to start listening.
Yeah, she's so good. She's so fun.
Is it a
Not
rapper?
anything like Cardi B.
Okay. Is it trap music?
No, it is not trap music.
That's
I'll
where I
send you
draw
a
the
whole
line.
playlist. It'll be great.
Can you
Get
define
you prepared.
trap music, though, quickly?
It's just like a rap music, like, but it's
Is the name indicative of what they were singing about rather than musical style?
no. I say it's more like it's more like the musical style. I think it's just like they call it different things and when I don't know. It's just like what a certain style of like rap music is called today. There's like
Do
conscious
men
hip
sing
hop
it?
and yeah, men and women and
Okay. I thought maybe it was just lady ones.
yeah. But I'm just really into female rappers lately.
Okay.
They're just
Yeah.
my fave.
I'm like, agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, different strokes, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good work, Sarah. We learned
That's
a
all
lot.
I got for you today. Giant African rats and a promo for Cognify.
Yeah. And the code for Cognify is brain candy for 20% off. Okay. Yeah, we
so
did a
funny.
lot. We talked about photos and Nick Cannon's balls. Who saw that
Right.
coming?
Right.
Don't forget
Yeah.
to support us. Use our codes. Say
Buy our
nice
merch.
things about us online. We love that.
We do love
Tell
that.
your
Thank
friends.
you guys all.
Yeah, you're the best. We'll see you next time.
Bye.